create this event, essentially, I've searched for English writers who I think might be interested in the work of English Pen, an extraordinary charity that not only supports writers at risk across the world, but also fights for notions of freedom of expression in the UK and many other things. And what I've done is asked writers based here in England to write a piece, a new work, maybe a commentary, they're completely free in content that responds to one of these writers at risks around the world. So what you're seeing today is a brand new piece, a brand new reflection that tries to evoke and celebrate those people and the things that they're experiencing because of their writing in countries around the world. So I'll read the reading order now, and I'll also pop up before each writer, so you really remember their names. So we're going to start with Sam Jordison for Narges Mohammedi, then Paul Ewan for Behrooz Bashani, then myself for Oleg Sentsov, and James Miller for Nadeem Turfent, then Ellen Wiles for Dina Meza, and finishing with Sarah Upstone for Dawit Isaac. Thanks again for coming. It's my pleasure to introduce speaking first Sam Jordison for Narges Mohammedi.
Can you hear me all right with that microphone? It's all right. Okay, great. So, Narges Mohammedi. In May 2016, the revolutionary court of Iran sentenced Narges to 16 years in jail. Charges included being a member of an organisation called Step by Step to Stop the Death Penalty and committing propaganda against the state. One of the main focuses of that propaganda campaign was to stop the state killing juvenile offenders, which is to say, children. She's now in Evin prison, which you might have heard of. It's notorious, and it's also where Nazanin Zaghari Ratcliffe is being held. Narges has had to endure solitary confinement. She is ill. She's got a neurological disorder which causes her muscular paralysis, yet Evin prison officials denied her access to a neurologist for over a year. Earlier this year she went on hunger strike. Since then her health has deteriorated further and she still hasn't really received the help she needs. That's the basic background. There's a lot more to her story I'd urge you to look into. And of course when you read that story you will want to help. That's why we're here. And for Narges, there is something you can do, as well as joining English Pen, which you must do. But if you visit the website her friends and supporters have set up, so if you Google her, it's one of the first things that will come up. It's called humanrightsontop.wordpress.com. The first thing you'll see is a gallery of photos of mountains from around the world. The website explains, foremost, we hope to raise awareness for Narges Mohammedi's case, so that she is released and free to explore all these mountains and places along with her family. Because her hobby used to be mountain climbing. When she was a university student, she was banned from mountaineering due to her political and human rights related activities. But now people are sending pictures to that website. I don't think she can see them in prison, but there's still something about the gesture. The photographs represent a kind of beauty and freedom, and an alternative world where Narges is able to roam where she wants, to enjoy nature on her own terms, and just feel the wind on her face. These pictures are also moving when you look at them because they represent individual acts of kindness. The people who've gone to the trouble of sending them in are sending solidarity and hope. So I've tried to take inspiration from those people in what follows. I want to give a kind of gift to Narges, which will be a walk on the mountain I love the most. Or actually, it's more of a hill. It's called Whitbarrow, and it's just on the edge of the Lake District. Its summit is only 705 feet above sea level, but it makes up for its lack of height by calling itself Lord's Seat. So it's pretty glorious. The rest of the hill, meanwhile, is a long, exposed limestone escarpment laid down in the Carboniferous period 350 million years ago. It's a site of special scientific interest full of rare habitats, glacial erratics, and unusual rock formations. It is an incredible place, but don't take it from me. In his book, The Outlying Fells of Lakeland, great bard of fell walkers, Alfred Wainwright, describes a walk up Whitbarrow as the most beautiful in this book. Beautiful it is in every way. All is fair to the eye on Whitbarrow, which is true. But I love it especially because it's the hill behind my mum's house, and I go up there all the time. From her front door, I just turn left onto a farm road, and I'm already climbing. I go through a wooden gate at the top of the lane, and up through a steep field where lambs play in the spring, and where, in winter, if it snows, the sledging is awesome. At the end of the field, there's a stile that leads into a small wood, carpeted with bright bluebells in April and May, or where, in the summer, the air is thick and potent with wild garlic. In late autumn, everything is dark and dripping. There's a short, slippy trudge through the woods, and that takes you onto 3 old stone steps up the side of a wall. Then a steep diagonal path up the bank onto a stony, muddy track, which is, inexplicably, marked as a road on some maps, and so, every so often, destroys a luckless lost saloon car. Leave this path quickly, cutting upwards to the right, through another field, stony now and scrubbier. There are thick bramble bushes that deliver sweet and tangy blackberries in early autumn, and scratches for the unwary the rest of the time. Another gate, a short climb, and then it's just sky and the long stretch of the escarpment. The path cuts through a small declivity, so you don't get the full view yet, but no matter. The hilltop itself is lovely enough, a big, empty expanse of brown grass and heather and rocks, punctuated by just a few wind-battered trees and hawthorn and juniper bushes, all dark branches and witches' fingers. It's bleak and stony, but that has its own rugged charm, not to mention its own unique interest. There's a limestone pavement to the left of the path. It's a geographer's dream full of plinths and grikes, and it's a special, ancient place. On we go. Don't get too distracted because the track is generally pretty muddy and there are loose rocks to watch for. Also, gigantic, hairy, red calves with long horns. They don't do much more than stand around chewing the coloured and looking scenic, but you don't want to bump into them. The path is flat now, riding the top of the outcrop. After a gentle, but nonetheless elating couple of kilometres, we get to a high, dry stone wall, built over 100 years ago by unknown hands, one carefully selected rock at a time. It stretches out over the top as far as you can see. After that, a small pine copse before the path leads you past some miniature limestone escarpments.